Hello everyone, today we will discuss about the damping force. For satisfy operation of electromechanical indicating type of instrument, we are using three types of force. Number one is a deflecting force, number two is a controlling force, number three is a damping force. Deflecting force and controlling force has already discussed. If you want to know about the deflecting force and controlling force, just go through the previous lectures. Now we will discuss about the damping force. In this system, we are using when the input signal is applied to the instrument, that means obviously deflecting force is developed to the instrument, and due to that deflecting force, the pointer deflects from its original positions. And whenever there is no input signal, the pointer should be at its back positions, so that a same amount of force is required to return back the pointer. That force is applied to the system in the opposite direction of the deflecting force, so that the pointer again moves back to its original positions. But due to the inertia of the positions, the inertia of the system, at its steady position, the pointer vibrate, or you can say accelerated at its positions. So it is very difficult to measure the electrical quantities quickly because of only inertia property. So that a force is required to damp out these oscillations. A force is required to damp out this vibration. That force is known as your damping force. That damping force has several types of damping force are there in the electrical system, but in our in our classes, in our course, we are using there are three types of damping. Number one is your air friction damping, number two is your fluid friction damping, number three is your eddy current damping. This is the fluid friction damping and air friction damping are almost mechanism equal, and here in same chamber we are using air instead of the fluid, and eddy current damping is something different that we'll discuss later. Now we'll discuss air friction damping. That means the name itself suggests that we are using the air which is damp out these oscillations. Here you can see this is an instrument which is used in the air friction damping. Here the spindle is rotated with the when the spindle here you can see the spindle is connected with the piston, and also the spindle is connected with the pointer which moves over the calibrated scale. When the spindle rotated, suppose it rotated in the clockwise direction, then what happened? Obviously, when it rotated in the clockwise direction, the pointer deflected its right hand position and the piston coming downward directions. But here there is the air inside this piston chamber, so air uplift the pistons, immediately uplift the piston, and the spindle again rotate in the anti-clockwise direction. So the pointer deflects in the left hand side. Similarly, when the spindle rotate in the clockwise anti-clockwise direction, that means the pointer oscillate, the piston moves away from, and the pressure of the air inside the cylinder get reduced. That means the external pressure is more than that of the internal pressure. Therefore, the piston moves downwards. The pointer tends to move in the clockwise directions. There, in these 3D pictures, we can use the spindle is connected with like this with the pistons, and the spindle also is connected with the pointer. And almost all things are depends upon the direction of the spindles. Next, instead of the air, we are using the oil. That name is your damping oil. In the chamber, we are using the damping oil, and damping oil having some viscous force, and that force helps for the piston to move upward direction and downward directions. And the direction of the movement depends upon the direction of the spindle, because the spindle is connected with the pistons, and also that depends upon your deflection pointer. Here the picture of the eddy current damping. Here you can say there is a magnetic permanent magnet is placed and that permanent magnet having north pole and south pole, there is the flux is passing from the north pole to south pole. Here we are using a circular disc that is placed inside of the permanent magnet. This circular disc, when the disc is rotated inside this permanent magnet, it will cut the magnetic flux, and according to the Faraday's laws of electromagnetic induction, an EMF is induced, and this circular disc having several closed path, and due to that closed path and already EMF is induced and obviously a current will be produced. That current is known as your eddy current, and this eddy current, due to that eddy current, another force is also developed. But according to the Lenz's law, that the direction of the force, that means opposes the oscillations. Here this is the picture of an indicating instrument where we are using the eddy current damping. Here a circular disc is placed inside the permanent magnet. That magnet we can say that is the damping magnet. Magnet having the obviously two poles, north pole and south pole, and magnetic flux is passing from the north pole to south pole. When the flux is passing from the north pole to south pole, the disc cut the magnetic flux, so that the EMF is induced in the circular disc according to the Faraday's laws of electromagnetic induction, and then the current will be produced in the disc as it is having the circular path. Here we are using that same thing figure, permanent magnet. We are using the circular disc, and this disc having already eddy current, and due to that eddy current EMF is also induced, and this EMF having the force which oppose the oscillations according to the Lenz's law, which oppose the oscillation of the force of oscillation, whose direction is opposite to the oscillating force, so that immediately the vibration will be stopped.